Syndrome, you played Marge. Take me back to that moment when you were in the film.
Wow. What a switch. She allowed to do that?
We can edit it, sorry.
I'm just kidding. That was a great thing for me to do, to work with Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda and I, before that, we was doing a lot of protests and demonstrations on farm workers for the Mexicans in Mexico. Tom Hayden, Chris Christopherson, and some other stars was supporting Jane Fonda. Working with Cesar Chavez, the great Cesar Chavez, God bless him. And to get more money for the Mexicans for their labor in the farm industry. The farm workers, I stood up for civil rights for blacks and for Americans, and I also stood up for the Mexican people. And then she stopped and said, I would love to do a movie with you. I said, you know how to call me? Call me. And knowing Jane Fonda, that woman, she's a woman of her word. She actually really called me, said, let's do this. We don't want you in the Chinese syndrome. And I said, wow. I said, I think I'm going to kind of like that. So I went and I asked Dustin Hoffman. I said, Dustin, who is the greatest teacher and coach of acting? And he told me Lee. He said, if he's still alive, it's Lee Strasberg. And so I came to California and enrolled in Lee Strasberg's Institute in California. And he happened to be there. And I joined, and I was coached by Lee Strasberg, which is amazing. This guy's amazing. You know, I met, at my acting classes, I met Maximilian Schell, who's a great actor. You know, Shirley Winters. And he's a good cook. He's a good cook. He had a big dinner at his house. He asked me to come over to cook and to eat. And I met Shirley Winters at Lee Strasberg's house. I mean, this is amazing. I'm sitting on a boat with Irwin Allen, who was doing the presiding adventure. And I'm sitting on the boat, sitting with Irwin Allen. I'm in the highlight of my life, you know, meeting all these great producers and directors. And I met Paul Newman and shooting his movie. I happened to sit in this chair. It had Paul Newman. I just had to have somewhere to sit. And I said, and he came, he said, oh, you're Paul Newman? I said, no, I'm not Paul Newman. I said, I'm so sorry. And I was just really excited. That's another moment in my life. And when Jane gave me the script, it was just amazing working with Michael Douglas and Jack Lemmon, the greatest man of all times. It was just amazing. And what they did, there's a guy named Alan, and he was one of the workers on the film. His name is Alan. I know his first name, Alan. And he took me to CBS newsroom and showed me what a director in a newsroom does. And most of it is hand movement. And, you know, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you know, wrap it up, you know, stop, countdown on the different. And I learned that from looking at a woman named Margot. And her name was Margot. She's an Afro-American director in the newsroom for CBS. She was amazing. And she was showing me the hand movements. It was great. It was just, I was just so excited to be with Jane Fonda. She's an amazing woman. She done so much politically and for civil rights. I think she's just an amazing woman. And to see her do 80 for Brady, and I was there with the red carpet with her, with Jane Fonda and Sally Field and Tom Brady and Lily Tomlin. That was amazing. Again.
Wow. Did you know that you were going to eventually do producing? You were gonna
No,
be a
not
producer?
then,
Like,
but
from that
but it
moment,
came that
yeah.
it inspired me. That inspired me to do production and to act more. And I should have continued acting, and I didn't. I went back home to straighten out problems and issues with my family, you know, seeing them grow up and live their life. You know, they were only kids, and it's good to be around your family. You know, your family is precious, and I just kind of stopped and went back home and just dealt with the family. And that's a beautiful thing. You want to see the kids grow. You want to miss their moments, you know. So family is really good to be around. So then later, all the kids have grown and started going off to school and college and all of that. You know, then you're alone. You know, you're all alone. And so I decided, somebody asked me to do a film, and I did it. And I helped them produce the film. And that opened my door. That really opened my door. I had friends like Paulo and, you know, George Washington, Lee Carter, and all of them. And I was so excited when Paulo said I was going to be in the film. That really made me excited. He was a cameraman as well. And I stuck. Now I'm working on Pure Justice, and I pray that it comes out a good movie. It's about law enforcement working with the community. We have issues there, and I want to do what Jane Fonda did. When you have an issue and you can't do nothing, you make a movie. You talk about the issues. Yeah, get it, because you can't go to the press. They want to say nothing. They'll block this. They'll block that. So I learned from Jane Fonda. Just do your issues in a movie. There you go.
I mean, that time was like the best when it comes to films, and nowadays it's not that great.
No.
What do you think? What did they do that was so great back then that you wish you'd see more of now in film?
In film, see, nowadays they just take the celebrities they got and they milk the celebrities until they can't milk them anymore. Sometimes they don't really look for new talent. It's not built on a lot of the talent. It's who you know, who you're connected with, and even the writers are not writing anymore. They're trying to relive old movies and redo the part 2 and part 3 and part 4, and it's not the same. And you have to get inspiring. I want more young people to be inspired to do better writing, you know, and it's time for people to stand down and let the young people rise up, you know. And you want that, you know, you want that young knowledge. You want that young knowledge, but yet you want them to have the old code, OLDCODE, old code. And the old code is the proper manners, the proper etiquette, to be kind to one another, not to lash out. The Facebook, Instagram, they're all lashing out, saying things they shouldn't say there. Certain things have to be private.